Welcome to Wrestling Diaries. This is another episode of the Spoken Word Sessions. Spoken Word Sessions. This is an episode, in case you missed the last one, where we get on here. It's just me. I don't have any guests, and I tell some great stories, and I read some literature from some great people or myself. It really just depends week to week. It just counts on what I feel like. Today, I'm going to tell a story about the concept of how kids are so mean. What I mean by that is, when we growing up and we're in school and all this stuff, you make these little social clubs, these little packs, you know, and sometimes if people don't fit your criteria, it's then they're not a part of the club, so to speak. And I always thought that, like, me and my friends would never do that. We were all very punk rock, right? We're nonconformists. We didn't subscribe to that. Like when I was in school, I was friends with everybody. I was friends with the jocks and the preppies and the nerds and the goths and the athletes and like whoever. Like I like to float around in the different genres of people because it's very interesting, and I suggest everybody doing it. Like people, you stick to your own kind. We are not animals. Maybe we are animals, but we're humans, right? And we don't. What's beautiful about that is we don't always have to be like lions that only earn their pride, or buffalo that are only in their herd, like this, or crows that are only in their murder. A group of crows is called a murder, in case anybody was wondering. And we, as humans, what's wonderful is we're individualistic, and so we can float around towards different humans, big humans, small humans, athletic humans, weak humans, like whatever. Like, and it's beautiful because you learn something about somebody different. But my group of friends, when we were growing up and we were teenagers, we were, for lack of better words, we could be jerks sometimes. And it's so funny that we sat back and we critiqued everybody else for being shunning people and judging people, but we kind of did it. And there was this, I never realized until later on in my adulthood that so many people looked up to our little clique, my little circle of friends, my close-knit group of friends. I didn't realize that so many people, looked up to us and liked us and wanted to be a part of our clique and all this stuff. And I found out later, and I was so floored and blown away by this. But one individual in particular, I'm not going to give his name, I'll leave him anonymous just in case. He wouldn't want to have his name out there for this story, but he really looked up to us a lot, and he wanted to be a part of our group. And it wasn't because we were the coolest guys or the best looking guys or the smartest guys, but we were the people that had the most togetherness. Like we were known as the guys, right? Everywhere we were at, whether it was at church or school or whatever we were doing, like we were the guys, the boys, and we were all tightly knit together. We had like a little crew, you know? And this guy wanted to be a part of it, and we were very unsure. He, in our defense, he was at the time he was doing things that we thought were sketchy, and we weren't really sure, so we kind of led him on in friendship. It's like that person in a romantic setting. They're leading someone on. They don't really want to be in a relationship. They don't want to be romantically involved, but they just lead them on. Just throwing some breadcrumbs out there so people will follow, Hansel and Gretel to that house where they get ate. They get ate up. And this is kind of what, we kind of did that. I used that analogy because it was perfect, because we kind of led his heart on, that we said heart on, not hard on. We led his heart on to think that we were going to let him be a part of our little group, whatever that means. And we completely at a minute's notice, we just shunned him and ostracized him and just cut him off. And at the time, like it wasn't like that big of a deal. We're just like, well, this guy's just not our cup of tea, whatever. But he was really floored by it, and it really hurt him. It really got to him for many, many years. And it's funny because we were like teenagers or whatever at this time. But even still, it's funny. You don't think about the things that really stick with people And they really do. You can sit there and say, "Oh yeah, well I screwed over my friend, or I made that comment, or I did this, or I stole from my grandmother." But I was, this is so long ago. I was a kid. Well, that stuff still. However you like hurt somebody, or you like did whatever, you screwed somebody over, you stabbed them in the back, or whatever it is. That sticks with people. And I saw this firsthand with this individual that I'm telling the story about. He years later, I remember thinking about the story, and I felt really bad, and I sent them a message on social media, and I was like, "Hey man, how have you been doing all these years?" It was years later, and I was like, he was like in the military or something at that point, and I was like, "Hey, just wanted to say, like, I'm real sorry about like kind of being a bad friend and being a jerk and not giving you the time of day and not giving you a chance or here like, you know, and just judging you and not even really trying to sit down and talk to you like, hey, we don't like what you're doing. Like, that's not cool. We don't want to be friends with somebody that does that or whatever. Because I think he was like, I don't know, trying to talk to some girl just for the sake of just sleeping with her or something like that. I really don't remember. He could probably tell the story better. I mean, because he was the one that was majorly affected in it so long ago. But he accepted it, and then we still like saw this individual through the years. He'd pop in and out, and I never really realized how bad that stuff really still stuck with him until like I had a conversation with him not too long ago, and he brought it back up again. And it was this very painful, emotional thing about it. Like he got emotional. We're sitting there and he's just telling the story and he got emotional. He's a grown ass man, right? And he got emotional. And it made me kind of think like, wow. Two things. I felt bad that we did that. Although, I did apologize and I apologized again, obviously. We're just kids. We're just snot-nosed kids, not even understanding about people's feelings and all that stuff. But it really shined a light on me about how the whole point of this is how influential you are as a person. You might not realize it, but there are people that look up to you. People that look up to you, they look forward to you. And the minute you do something or you let them down, then you have no idea what kind of effect that can have on people. So you have to be really careful and really think about who's watching. Because if you don't think people are paying attention, then you're not paying attention. And so it's something that's really important, right? People like also like people that like try to follow you or like your stuff and you think they're like, oh, that person's stupid or they're a nerd. Like, are they? Did you at least give them a chance? Like, if you gave them a chance and they're super annoying and they like coming over your house all the time and eating all your food and flirting with your mom or something, I don't know. Like, but if you haven't given them a chance and it's all based on like, outward appearance or social status or what cliques they run with, maybe that's something that you should really reevaluate. If you care, if you don't care, then this isn't for you. Then you should stop listening or stop watching this. So it's really important, I think, to really think about the people that you're influencing because you never know, you could send somebody down a path and you might say, well, I can't be responsible for everyone. True. But you can be responsible for the people that come across, you know, your land, that walk into your direction, that are in your atmosphere. You should be responsible for them. And the more power you have, the more give, the more pull you have in any form or fashion, the more responsibility you should have. Anyways, I want to read a poem that this individual had wrote. I don't think it was about this specifically, but this is just something that he wrote that's a reflection of who he is and what he was going through and how he's really stuck in his head a lot. That's probably another reason why this stuck with him all these years. It just, he maybe he deals with abandonment issues, and the only people he ever wanted to be friends with was me and my friends, and he got a taste of it, and then we shit all over him. So, in honor of him, I'm going to read a piece of his work, and hopefully people listen to it like it. If you don't like it, don't like it, but you like it. Try to like it. Just like it. You like it. It's called Think Man. I'm looking for something more than I've ever felt before. A new emotion, a new perception, Time well spent on an ageless lesson. Heads containing complex minds, thoughts of yours differ from mine. White and black and now technicolor. Views so bright I almost smother. Aggression is lost, and anger is managed. Passive controlling, so violence no longer damages. A new look, a new appearance. There is no reason for you to fear this. Open minds that control our world. What was once obscured now unfolds. Here are your thoughts, man. All of your opinions. Here's your voice, man. I'm willing to listen. Speak. It's easier than you think. Think, man, think. It helps. An apathetic glance with a motivated stance. The will to mold, change, and conform without the means to actually perform. A foreign feeling, taking a beating, but never looking to forge a difference. Only seeing the outcome as if we had already changed. Become a factor, a significant mechanic, to take away from the constant panic. Become a significance, be consequential, build up to be viewed as influential. A new look, a new appearance. Don't be afraid to grow from this. Devoted minds that control our world. Watch the inspiration as it slowly unfolds. Here are your thoughts, man. All of your decisions. Here's your choice, man. I'm willing to listen. Articulate. It's easier than you think. Think, man. Think. It helps. Think, man. That was good. I got goosebumps. Look at us, ladies and gentlemen. That was beautiful. I hope that everyone took that in and really enjoyed that and liked that. And also, if you're watching this, friend, think, man. Thank you for sending that in to me and letting me share your work, your emotion, your heart with multitudes of people that are going to hear this. And that's really great. And the moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, my final thought for the day is pay more attention to people paying attention to you. And, don't lead hearts to water just to let them die of thirst. Do you know what I mean by that? I hope so. Anyways, thank you for watching another episode or listening to another episode of Spoken Word Sessions by the Wrestling Diaries. As always, you can follow us and download our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Radio FM, Pocket Cast, and a plethora of others. And you can also, if you'd like to watch our actual video, you can go to YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, the notification, and just share. Share this if you think it's relevant to you or anyone else. Share it and, check us out. Anyway, what are you wrestling with and how can you beat it? One love.